Hey, do you guys want to buy a kingfish? You want to live in a crazy house even though you're not crazy? Are you in the market for two-headed monsters? If you just like listening to Mohr Stories every week, then you can help me out. Go to my website, jmohr.com, and click on the Amazon link on my website. If you're going to be shopping at Amazon anyway, why not help support Mohr Stories at the same time by going to jmohr.com, jaymohr.com, bleep, and then click on the Amazon link to their homepage, and then you can shop for whatever you want. Instead of me pushing a product on you, you can just simply go to Amazon.com through jmohr.com and get any product you want. I mean, I do a lot of favors for you, don't I? I ask you for one thing here, Henry. Go to Amazon.com through jmohr.com. Look, this is Harvey Keitel. Go to jmohr.com. Click the link. Who's going to be okay at Amazon.com through jmohr.com? Say the damn words. Do me a favor. Help us out. Help keep this podcast rolling. You know how much money I got to pay Matt Cohen every week? Go to Amazon.com through jmohr.com, and I will personally mail each of you $15 million. Part of this was made up. Hey, come see me live if you live in Richmond, British Columbia, Vancouver. Where are you at? Canada. I'm going to be at River Rock Casino March 30th. Also, come see us do a live podcast at the incredible Irvine Improv April 4th and April 10th. Can't wait to see you guys out there. But at my donuts.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
I want to work with you a lot.
Oh, yeah.
We have a mobile fake mustache studios today. Matt Cohen joining me on the Wheels of Steel as well as on the second mic for a little while.
Hello. You let me out of my cage for a minute?
Yeah, I like when you got some positive feedback on the Twitter.
I appreciate that. The Twitter machine?
The Twitter machine?
Those are my people, man.
Yeah, the interwebs.
Yeah.
Nerds!
People who never leave their houses. Yeah.
Nerds!
I prefer Geek, but it's the same fucking difference.
I guess in your world, I'm the Ted McGinley.
Yo, you're a jock, dude. Totally.
I'm a jock?
Compared to the rest of the Twitterati, I guess. No, but you have your geek eccentricities. You host BlizzCon.
Yeah, World of Warcraft convention, BlizzCon a few times. And I'm a huge gamer. I never got into the comic book thing, though.
Not even when you were a kid? Like when you...
I'm so dumb. When I was a kid, I didn't know if I was supposed to read up or down or left to right. Seriously.
So that's what fucked you up about it?
That really was the end of my my comic book reading career.
That's almost a cool way to read it, though. You just make up your own fucking story.
I think Crumb's crazy brother would have liked it that way.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
Create a completely symbiotic comic where it doesn't matter if you go left to right or up and down. Like a crossword puzzle. I didn't realize this till I saw that documentary about crossword puzzles.
Will Short's, yeah.
Yeah, and Mike Messina from the Yankees and Jon Stewart. That a crossword puzzle, if you hold it up to the mirror, it's exactly backwards and forwards. Oh, shit. Matt Cohen finally gets a mic.
And now I go away.
And Chris Columbus takes a giant shit all over it. This will be heard by about 250,000 people. We got Christopher Columbus, our nice director here today. And then you'll talk again later, Matt.
That works.
You're going to have to choke on that mic, practically.
You guys do this live? This is not live.
Yeah, no. You got to hold it way up to your mouth like this.
You got it. Okay.
Christopher Columbus is on Mohr Stories right after screenwriter. What are you doing, Columbus?
Sorry, man.
Jesus.
Ripping everything out of here. Sorry.
Christopher Columbus, this is one of the few times an actor could say to you, your trailer really isn't that much better than mine.
It's exactly the same.
Two-banger?
A two-banger, and I don't hang out in it. I just don't want to spend much time in it.
See, that's all I want to do is spend, because if I'm on set, all I do, as you know, is talk incessantly.
Right.
I vomit words.
Which I love. Except that the ADs don't love it, but I love it, because I just love hearing, trying to figure out what's going on inside your head.
I like how you like slip in, like there's clues in life.
Right.
And I just found out I got to cool it with the AD department.
Right.
You, what made you decide to direct TV from having? I mean, you have like one of the most successful film careers of anybody, really. I mean, you're up there in the upper 1%.
Right.
What made you say, "Hey, I want to do a Nancy Drew mystery for CBS"?
Well, the weird thing is I wanted to do television because I saw The Sopranos. I used to watch The Sopranos religiously. Then I got into shows like Breaking Bad, all these great cable shows, and I knew that for me it was a medium that felt like you could tell a story, a much longer story than you could tell in film. So I was desperate to do TV, and I made a deal at CBS. It was going to be 1 of 3 shows. This show came in. I thought it was much sort of wittier and funnier and had the potential to be something really great. So I jumped at it. I mean, for me, it was important to be able, you go off and you do movies like Harry Potter 1 and 2 and 3, and you get fat, you get lazy, you're like, oh, I'd take 160 days to shoot a guy in a broomstick. But really, you're not going back to where you started. And for me, it's always a matter of never forget those moments when you were either in film school, you're making your first movie, and you had to do it fast, and you had to do it well. Fast didn't necessarily mean it was going to be terrible. So for me, it was a matter of getting back into television, doing something really great, which I think we're doing. I think we're accomplishing something really good. Whether or not anyone sees it, who knows?
We're talking, of course, about the CBS. Nobody has any idea what we're talking about. The CBS, I should have prefaced it all.
That's okay.
We were talking about comic books before you came in. The CBS pilot Applebaum, Apple as an apple, bomb, B-A-U-M, like the person's last name.
Which is going to be changed, but we'll figure
it is going to be changed?
Because it sounds like Applebee's to me.
We should just call it Applebee's and get a tie-in. Get the
Well, you get free
corporate crossover.
You get free food. Our catering will be much better. Yeah, right.
So how many scripts did CBS show you? Did they show you some real dog shit ones? And you don't have to name names.
No. I developed them. So if they were bad, it was my responsibility. So I developed 3 scripts. One of them was what is now called Applebaum. One was a remake of The Rifleman. And one was another.
Oh, bro.
It was awesome. It was
you and
fantastic.
I should be doing The Rifleman together.
We'll do it as a movie because the script was so good, I think it should be a film. It was
Chuck Connors.
Great. It was fantastic. It was amazing. And it was tied into the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. It was great. It was just brilliant.
I think the listeners will be interested to trying to wrap their mind around. This happens a lot on the podcast. It was amazing. It was great. It was incredible. Didn't do it.
For some reason, there were a lot of Westerns being made in the world of television, so they put it on hold. So
Name one.
I don't know the names of them. They don't cut. They're Westerns. They're so they're not doing reboots of any other famous Westerns, but they're doing a lot of Westerns, so they felt, I know how people think. They're like, oh, this has kids in it. Chris is good with kids. That we need to up the comedy. Chris likes comedy. He's good with comedy. So that's probably why they... And I said, well, I really want to do The Rifleman as well. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. We'll see.
How you really are good with comedy as a comic. Obviously I like to go off the rails as, whenever you allow.
Right.
But you're a guy, like, you have so much to do for the people listening. Like when you direct a show, like an hour procedural drama, or dramedy, I guess this would be.
Yeah.
There's so much. Like if the fucking water truck is late, they come running up to you like, Chris,
right,
the toilet overflowed on Lucerne.
Exactly.
You know where the Ambassador Hotel was? That's where the 3rd base camp is on the 5th day. And you're like, I don't really give a shit.
Right, exactly.
And in fact, you said one of the best things. Somebody was telling you something about one of the kid actors, and they're going, it doesn't really matter, but it doesn't. I don't even know if you remember you said this. It doesn't really matter, but, and you go, you're right. It doesn't matter because I don't fucking give a shit. And the person just walked away.
Right. But
but not as an ass. I really need to point out, every story I'll tell about you is I don't think you have an angry bone in your body. You're a complete happy pragmatist where you're just letting that person know, yeah, it doesn't matter because I just don't give a shit.
There is just such a level of bullshit in Hollywood and on movie sets and everywhere you go that I cannot stand it. And I don't want to be one of those old guys when I get older who's you're like crabby about kids. I love youth, I love comedy, and I love honesty. And when I sense that somebody is not being completely honest, that's when it goes off. That's when I go off the rails. And it happens all the time in this town. And sometimes you just are shocked by the lack of honesty that goes on in Hollywood on all levels,
But see, they lie to you for a much different reason than they lie to me or
right.
They lie to Matt. They lie to me because I didn't get something, but they probably lie to you to just, you're super approachable and kind, but I'm guessing many people lie to you to sort of like keep the emperor happy, like almost in a court jester way, where you as a guy separated from it all, you probably find it nauseatingly amusing. Like, why? Just fucking tell me.
Exactly. And the weird thing for me is I have become one. It's like when I go to if I go because I'm heavily into comic books, I used to go to the Beatles conventions.
He's got a podcast called Bagged and Boarded, all about comic books.
Oh, that's awesome. And it's like you always see yourself as the person you're not. I go to comic book conventions, and my first half hour there, I'm like, what a bunch of fucking losers. Look at these guys. They're like, look at this guy. And then suddenly I turned to my son, I said, actually, I'm this guy. I'm the loser as well. I am one of these guys. And when I was working in Hollywood for so many years, I was like, Hollywood's this, Hollywood's that, it's bullshit. But in reality, I love it. I do love the process. So nothing that anybody can say, that anybody can lie about, can take away the fun of the process. So for me, it's like when you're on the set and you're improvising and we're having fun with essentially a procedural show, we're doing something different that doesn't exist on another network. We are taking something serious and playing with it, and it to me is fascinating. We are creating something kind of interesting here, and I'm happy about that.
Well, I'm glad you're happy. You
Thanks.
Sorry. That came out so bizarrely because of my fever. I'm glad you're happy.
And the look in your eyes was frightening.
What a jerk. This Pollyanna bullshit Columbus is trying to sell us. Earlier in the week, a producer came up to Chris and said, I don't remember what exactly was said, but it was you could hear skid marks on the 405, the 180 the person did. They came up to you and said, it was literally like, hey, we can't shoot Matt Cohen because he's got to be out by 2. And then you said, well, Matt Cohen can stay till 3. And the guy goes, yeah, he can stay till 3. And you just laughed in the guy's face.
But you're making me sound like I'm much cooler than I am.
No, you are there. But with no malice.
Right.
You literally laughed out loud 5 feet from the person and said out loud at Video Village, that was maybe the fastest 180 I've ever seen in the history of movie making.
It is true. I mean, there's a level of fear. Here's the thing: is that
we don't have to cut because of the chopper.
No, it's fantastic. No, fear is your worst enemy. Fear is what in any part of your life. Fear is the thing that will bring you down and make you do things that are not what you would do if you didn't have fear. So for me, a movie set or a television set is a very, very safe place, and I love doing it. I feel incredibly privileged to do what I do. It's like awesome that I get to do my life's dream, which is to direct films and now I'm directing this television show. So I have fun when I'm there. I'm not going to let any of the bullshit get in the way, and I'm not going to let somebody I just hate sniveling weasels. I guess it comes down to that. It's just, and they're everywhere. I can spot them. And after so many years of doing it, you just know when you've got one, and that's kind of frustrating.
I asked you the other day what you were most proud of in your career, and your answer was really, you said it almost like embarrassed, like you thought I was going to jump down your throat about it. What are you most proud of?
Well, the movie I'm most proud of is Rent, because I love the movie. And I when I saw that play, I wanted to preserve what I saw on stage. So I got the original cast back, and we made the movie, and I thought the movie worked really well, and it was pre-Glee, so did not do well at all at the box office. So.
But when you watch it, I remember seeing the play and hating it.
Right.
I at intermission, I just kept going.
Right.
I just walked home. I was like, this is bullshit.
Right.
So I didn't see the movie. Now I'll see the movie because you directed it.
Right.
I like the cut of your jib. But when you watch the movie, do you say, I did exactly what I wanted to do. I took the play and I did it in the movie the way I would have wanted another guy to do it?
No, you're always constantly, if you look back, and I'm not one of those psychos who's watching my work all the time, because that would be, so I'm worried I'm going to be sitting upstairs with Kleenex boxes on my feet.
Why is it hard to watch? Because it's just, like, I want to record my stand-up sets all the time.
Right.
And I'll get 5 minutes in, and I go, oh, my God, this is unbearable. Oh, everybody's laughing. And, like, but you don't sit around and watch Harry Potter?
No. If I sit around and watch Harry Potter, I watch Harry Potter because I put my kids in it. So I'll fast forward. If they're watching it, my kids have been in every movie I've made for 20 years. So it's like anamorphic home movies. It's incredible. I've got my daughters when they're babies, so I'll go back. You know, my mom has passed away, so she's in 9 months, so I'll go back and see her. And, you know, it's
She
real.
was great in Goodfellas. It sounds much nicer in Italian. What's the matter, Vincenzo? You don't talk? What am I supposed to say? My wife is cheating on me? You talk too much.
No, but to me, it's like, look, if you go back and watch your old work, you're insane. You're out of your mind. So for me, it's just a matter of continuing to